up, everybody? It's going to be a really brief, really short stream tonight. Hope everyone's doing well. Happy Friday. Just wanted to quickly pop on. It was a pretty busy day for me. We'll be headed back to New York City either late tomorrow night or Sunday morning. So I thought I'd quickly come to Lincoln Road and see what's changed. It's a beautiful Friday night in Miami, and it was a crazy week. I'm sure everyone's heard of the unbelievable, pretty much the CrowdStrike outage. Shut the whole world down this morning. Flights were grounded across the United States. Chances are, if you were running Windows operating system, you couldn't do anything. So, talk about a crazy, crazy day. Lance, what's up? It's good to see you. Shannon, Alan is here. DC322. Yeah, unbelievable. Now, thank God, I wasn't really affected by the CrowdStrike outage, but I will make a little bit of a comment on it because they're saying it's not due to a cyber attack. I don't know if I buy that. You just don't push a system update to everyone all at once. Usually these things are rolled out in tiers. So I don't know. But I think we could, confirm one thing. What we've been talking about on this live stream over the course of the last 6 months, we said there's going to be more and more and more cyber attacks leading up to the presidential election. Now, again, I want to be crystal clear. The CEO of CrowdStrike said that this was not a cyber attack. Okay, it was just a system malfunction which quite literally knocked out the entire United States. Flights were grounded. Most people, if you're running Windows, you couldn't do anything. It was literally, everything was shut down. So hopefully, and I kind of made this joke to my friends today, I said, hopefully we can get through this weekend without any major breaking news or headlines or... It's just, the news I feel has been so crazy, and the events have been so crazy over the last 2 weeks that I think we deserve a little bit of a break. Is that fair? Hey, New England Crypto, good to see you. I see Tim is here from Ithaca. Love Ithaca. Good to see you, Tim. Mike G is here. Dan is here. What's up? Joe E. Jay Sully says, I feel it was a cyber attack or it was just extreme incompetence. And, I feel as if after the pandemic, right after the virus, it made a lot of people pretty lazy, and it made them comfortable with cutting corners, myself included. If you shut down the world for a year and you force everybody to work from home, fundamental habits change, and I feel as if we're accepting mediocre activity. Maybe that's how I'll best describe it. I don't know. We'll see. That's kind of my feelings. But welcome to Lincoln Road, everybody. It's a beautiful night in Miami, and surprisingly, there's actually a lot of people out this time of night at Lincoln Road. Again, this is Miami's off season. Sabrina Fair, what's up? Good to see you. UniJ23. TK Porsche's 50-50 as sitting president announces his retirement this weekend. That's what I've heard too. I think we just need to cool it on the news. I think if everyone could just cool it on the news, man, what a wild 2 weeks in American history. I think we could all agree on that. Quite unbelievable. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised literally at anything at this point. And I think you guys probably wouldn't be surprised at anything either. With the turn of events that have come out. But I think, and this does relate to business as well. I just don't understand. And we don't really know the details of the CrowdStrike incident, but I know a few people who work at CrowdStrike, right? I've sold competing products in my life. I've sold Zscaler products. So I'm, not connected super high up in the industry, but I know some people who work at these companies. I don't think anybody's been fired on the executive team or anything. And I feel as if nowadays there's no punishments for these massive mess ups. So it gets people complacent. Same thing with the assassination attempt. You let a 20-year-old kid take a shot at the President of the United States and not one person is even reprimanded or fired or even put on leave. It's kind of crazy. It's really, really kind of crazy. And you could say the same thing about all of these incidents with Boeing, right? Think about that company. How many times do we turn on the news and there's a malfunction with the aircraft, the door blows off, the power goes out. I mean, and nobody in the C-suite or even the CEO steps down or anything. So I think that's a pretty it's not a good precedent to set. I think we need to go back to the old roots where there's consequences for things, right? Even if it's not directly your fault, you need to own up, take accountability, and let someone step in. It's crazy. I mean, the last thing I'll say about the CrowdStrike thing, most people are really, really underestimating how severe that was. That was probably as bad and as worse. I just don't think people really understand how bad that was this morning. Anyway. Yeah, TK Porsche, I saw that. Now, the CrowdStrike CEO, I'm not sure if anybody knows this, he is a race car driver. This is the Apple store here on Lincoln Road. But he's a race car driver and he dropped out of his race. Now, obviously, in terms of the stock price, I think CrowdStrike gapped down big. It was down 10%, but it kind of recovered throughout the day. But the industry as a whole was kind of muted. Palo Alto Networks was up a little bit. Zscaler pretty much closed dead even on the day. But we're in the middle right now of a correction or a rotation, a major profit-taking event. And I don't think this is anything to be concerned about. If you guys check your email, I did send out the Behind the Street newsletter, and we've had such an amazing run in the market, and I think all of us can agree, this has been one of the strongest markets that we've ever seen in our lifetimes. And that's just the truth. Last week, S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, brand new all-time record highs, right? Gross extension over the major moving averages, such as the 50-day and the 200-day, and that warrants the pullback, right? So what we're seeing is a lot of money come out of these mega cap tech names, and you're starting to see a little bit of a rotation into smaller caps, a little bit. But more specifically, I mean, look at the movement in gold. Gold has been performing really, really well, and Bitcoin. Bitcoin now has a negative beta to the rest of the market, which is extremely encouraging because usually there's a very, very high correlation between Bitcoin and other crypto assets and the NASDAQ 100, right? Like a lot of these high beta tech stocks, because, think about the type of people who historically have purchased Bitcoin, right? It's VC guys and girls, hedge fund managers, retail traders that are looking to take on bigger risk to generate alpha. Now you're kind of seeing that trade flip to where Bitcoin has been rallying. I think as New England Crypto said in the chat, we briefly for a short time hit 67,000 today. And gold is trading in a new all-time record highs too. So it's almost acting if it's a risk-off asset and a safe haven, which has never really happened before, which is pretty encouraging. Oh, this pizza place has a DJ. I haven't been to Lincoln Road in such a long time. I don't know, what do you guys think of the price action today? I mean, it was just a wild, wild day. Anyone here in the audience was impacted by the CrowdStrike outage? Anyone miss a plane? Anyone miss a flight? Any interesting stories from the day? Hey, sunshine after rain, what's up? Chris, MD is here. Anna says, feel like it was supposed to happen during Y2K. Isn't that funny? Yeah, during the year 2000, everyone thought all computers were going to turn off and stop working. But that quite literally happened today. Someone posted this such a cool graphic on Twitter where you could see all of the different flights in the air over the United States. And right as this massive outage happened, you could see all the planes slowly land and everything else was grounded. DC322 says, couldn't do anything with my workstation. Whew. Wow, Sam M says, Tom, my mother was stuck at Buffalo Airport all day. Could you imagine traveling at like JFK today or LaGuardia? And I was actually gonna fly out today. I'm so glad I didn't. Robert Parker says I had a little transfer of picking funds or transferring funds between different accounts. Sabrina Fair says, Tom, it was not everything. It was just companies that used CrowdStrike that were affected, which is a lot of people, which is like most Fortune 500 companies use CrowdStrike. They have a huge wallet share, CrowdStrike. Almost all the major airlines use them. The FBI is a customer of CrowdStrike. Now here's the bigger question. Is this a permanent reputation killer for CrowdStrike, or do you think the market's going to forgive them? I think the market will forgive CrowdStrike. I know TK Porsche says Mercedes F1 team's IT systems were down. CrowdStrike is one of Mercedes' sponsors. Yeah, and we saw one of the Formula One cars in New York City with the CrowdStrike logo. Right at the Aston Martin showroom, they have one of those on display. Brad's brain says, I could tell Schwab uses them, I can too. Schwab is one of the broker dealers that have been getting killed in terms of the stock price. I think it's down over maybe 15% over the last 2 days. Beep Pet Show says, I'm in one of the largest healthcare in America, and we definitely were hit. Hey, Esmeralda, good to see you. Yeah, it's going to be a shorter than usual stream. We're just checking out Lincoln Road tonight. Brad's brain. This is with Schwab. It was miserable trying to get simple options orders filled with them. Anytime, I'll give you a little tip. Open for all of your active
There's a cheesecake
trading that I would say, particularly options. Use IBKR. I think Interactive Brokers is really, really, really good. But I have a lot of money at Schwab. Many of my retirement accounts that just, are indexed and just sit there is with Schwab. Wow, GG New York City, NYC says our servers both in MS and NYU, Langone, were disturbed. Oh, that's right. Robert Parker says I also ordered my morning Starbucks this morning and was notified Starbucks never even saw my order, and other people placed through the app and it didn't work and it was down. I saw something like that on Twitter. MD says yes, I've heard the same. You've moved to IBKR. MD says you like Webull for options. I'm not a big fan of Webull. I'm not a fan of Webull or Robinhood, but I will say this. To be fair, I try not to be biased. There's a lot that can be said for the price action in Robinhood stock. It's actually emerging out of an IPO base. It's slowly but surely moving up the right side, and they do a good job in attracting younger customer base. And if you think about it, look at how beautiful this outdoor dining spot is. If you think about it, trend following is important, and the lion's share of Gen Z and millennials, they're using Robinhood. So it is important to pay attention. Hey, Patrick D is here. What's up? Happy Friday. We're just here checking out Lincoln Road here in Miami. Simply Sonora says, hey Tom, does North Miami go past 192nd Street? I don't think so. I think North Miami technically ends at 160 North Miami. You're not talking about North Miami Beach, right? I think it ends at 168th Street for North Miami. North Miami Beach goes a little bit further, and then if you continue all the way up again, that's gonna run you into Hollywood. This gelato spot is in New York City too. Joe E says, Tom, do you like Moo Moo? I've never heard of Moo Moo. Brad's brain says, my brother-in-law suggested Webull for charting. Dude, so here's something I'd recommend. Open up a TradingView account and just use TradingView for all of your charting. And you could even hook up your brokerage account to TradingView. They have an API. Hey, Dan Sang says, Tom, was your company's server down today? My company's whole payment system was down this morning. You know what? No, Elon was not impacted at all, which is super surprising. But yeah, we were just talking about that. What a crazy, crazy week. Like, if you were to go back in time, right, and tell yourself exactly what would happen over this past week, but you're telling yourself in the future, you'd be like, that's the most outlandish thing I've ever heard in my entire life, and you would never believe it. That's how crazy this world has gotten, right? We have an assassination attempt on a president of the United States by a 20-year-old kid that was somehow able to outsmart Secret Service and jump up on a roof. And then we have pretty much it's technically not a cyber attack according to the CEO, but I don't know about that. Then we have a massive bungle by CrowdStrike, which pretty much deemed the United States, much of it, inoperable, particularly air travel, for the entire morning, this morning. Crazy times we're living in. This is the Cheesecake Factory. Now this H&M is pretty cool here, right on Lincoln Road. If you're visiting Miami, come to this H&M, and I'll tell you why. It's quite literally a theater. You know how it says Lincoln Theater? And when you're inside the H&M, you can kind of see, it's just very, very cool. Imagine you're in like Radio City Music Hall, something like that. You can kind of tell that it originally was a theater, like where the mezzanine is. It's very, very cool here. You have a Starbucks here, and then right behind us, you have this Cheesecake Factory, which seems to be pretty busy. Hey, Mark Summers. Good evening, Tom and chat. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. After a wild week. Were you impacted at all by that crazy CrowdStrike outage? Now, the stock obviously got hammered. It was down over 10% on the day alone. But generally speaking, we're having a big rotation out of big tech. We're in a market correction, but gold and Bitcoin is quite defiant. I feel like something else happened this week, but I just can't think of it. Everything was so crazy that I just forget. Scott says, hey Tom, thanks for taking us to Miami with you. No problem. Thanks for being here. I wish I could spend, let's actually go this way. I wish I could spend a little bit more time here, but unfortunately I can't. I am opting to fly out on Sunday morning as opposed to flying out tomorrow. I'm just gonna try to spend the day here and chill. Football Shane says H&M Times Square is bigger. Thank you so much. Probably is, yeah. But thank you for your donation and your support. Appreciate it, Shane. This restaurant looks packed too. I've never been here before. 3T3 says, hey Tom and team, anything interesting happened in the last week? Asking for a friend, I know, right? Hang with Mark Mom says, hi Tom, one of my banks was affected. I was not able to access my funds. Good thing I don't put all my eggs in one basket, for sure. It's wild. Now, I put out this tweet. Oh, by the way, we have some breaking news. Elon Musk, apparently, he's canceling all his contracts with CrowdStrike. I don't know if that's the right move. Anyway. But, you know what's one thing that can never go down? The Bitcoin network can never go down. Doesn't matter if CrowdStrike or Palo Alto Networks is out of commission. It's quite literally a big hedge on everything. And that's the main reason why I have exposure to it, because even if you just have a percentage of your net worth, 1 or 2%, not speculating on just, oh, I want it to go to 1 million, but just as a hedge on craziness. right? Let's say if all the banking networks go down, well, at least you have some way to have medium of exchange. It's just really, really crazy. Mark Summers is, why don't you think that's the right move with Elon? Well, for a few reasons. Number one, assuming that it was just a mistake. But as of right now, I think it's a little bit more than a mistake, to be honest. But let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and say it is, right? Okay, if it was a mistake, then somebody needs to get fired, right? They need to brief the public on exactly what happened and move on, right? There needs to be accountability, because assuming it was a mistake, a lot of things go wrong at Elon Musk companies, right? And I'm a huge fan of Elon, right? Think about all the recalls and all the problems with, the Teslas, right? But people still hang in there and say, look, we're going to support it. We're not going to throw a big pandemonium fit. We'll just, either wait for the software update, which Musk puts out, or we'll take it to the shop. So to be very hasty and just be bombastic and tweet something out, like we're ripping everything away from CrowdStrike, it's like, all right, give him a second, okay? And I don't think that's the right thing to publicize that from a big guy like Elon Musk, his following, right? He has a lot of push and pull and business influence. That's gonna ding a lot of business for CrowdStrike. I mean, don't get me wrong, that will ding some business for CrowdStrike. If you have Elon Musk coming out on the biggest platform in the world, broadcasting to millions of people that, yeah, we're no longer going to be customers at CrowdStrike, it's like, probably not the most responsible thing to be tweeting out. That's just me. But not to be conspiratorial, I'm in the camp that something happened there. I'm in the camp that somebody breached their system or something. TK Porsche is, in my opinion, CrowdStrike will learn from this and continue to be a leader in cyber. I think so too. The two undisputed leaders in cyber right now are Palo Alto Networks and CrowdStrike, for sure. This is the big, I should say, one of the main bus terminals here. And if we cross over one more, we'll run into Collins Avenue. Evan says, I like Elon as long as he doesn't talk. Look, again, I'm a huge Elon Musk fan, as you guys know if you've been watching these live streams. But again, assuming if it was just a glitch in the system and they apologized for it, I mean, how would Elon like if the CEO of CrowdStrike or Tim Cook, which is probably a better example, he has a little bit more reach, came out and tweeted, oh, I'm having every one of my family and all my employees turn in their Teslas because we're having a little bit of a bad customer experience with it. Not a cool move, in my opinion. Alan says they claim it was just a bad software update / a patch. If so, someone needs to be held accountable. There has to be ways to do some testing before it hits mass deployment. Agreed. If it's negligence, they just got to fire someone and, put in place procedures to make sure it never happens again. I'd just like to comment again, not to sound super repetitive, but I am very, very surprised with just the amount of people that are still in Miami this time of year. And a lot of young people too. It's usually much, much quieter. This is the Raising Cane's. They have a bunch of locations in New York City now too, particularly in Penn Station. as well as Times Square. The whole thing isn't a big deal. I think it's a bigger deal than people are making it out to seem. That's what I think. From having a little bit of a background in cybersecurity, that could have been much worse. That could have quite possibly leaked everyone's data worldwide. I mean, I think it's a lot worse than people think, but we'll see what happens. I never noticed all this neon lights on this CVS. Says AT&T leaked a bunch of data. Yeah, and I think that we covered that a few streams ago. And funny enough, we haven't really heard any updates from that AT&T deal, right? Which makes sense because the news cycle is just 180 degrees the other way. Quite obviously, because we had an assassination attempt on the former president, nobody really cares about the AT&T data breach anymore. But that's another thing that I think is way worse than they make it out to seem. Everyone, we're coming up on Collins Avenue now. Wow. Very busy. I believe this is the Ritz-Carlton, South Beach. Now there's a few new developments. Maybe I'll have enough time tomorrow to film a video around the construction sites. We'll cross so we can take a look at the ocean real quick. See if the internet holds out, and if it does, maybe we'll try to walk to the ocean. I don't know if we're gonna be able to see anything, but we might as well try it since we're here. Now, as a potential catalyst, right, as a potential bull catalyst for cybersecurity companies, going into this election year, particularly with what just happened, and again, I know it's reported it's not a cyber breach, but knowing with what we know, right, everyone's on high alert after the assassination attempt, there's probably going to be some major deals that are going to be put through on major government agencies to help fight off any cyber attacks leading up to the election. So it's going to be interesting to see maybe at the end of next quarter, when these cybersecurity companies report earnings, to see if there's a material uptick in public sector sales. I'd probably bet there are going to be some pretty sizable deals. All right, everyone, this is the valet for the Ritz-Carlton. Should we try to go to the ocean? We'll try. See what we could do. Now, during the day, this looks awesome. And just as a quick reminder, this boardwalk will take you all the way up through Mid Beach, all the way up through North Beach, and even Surfside and Bal Harbor. It's so peaceful here. It's unbelievable. I like how they have the boardwalk lit a little bit. It's like backlit. Hey, what's up, Chris? It says good vibes tonight. Yeah, a lot of good vibes. Hopefully the powers that be will allow everyone to have a peaceful weekend without any breaking news. Can the overlords, whoever runs the universe, just give us one weekend this summer where we don't have some freak breaking news? Is that too much to ask? Wow, I think there's some police activity. But this is the beach. Wow, it probably doesn't come out good on the stream, but this looks beautiful. You can see the ocean in the back right here. And look at that moon over Miami. Sabrina Fair. You need to do a better convincing. Now let me know if you guys could see well, or if it's like, kinda okay. Maybe if I turn the, oh, it looks like someone's getting arrested. Yikes. But minus the arrests that are being made, guys, this is unbelievably gorgeous. Unbelievably gorgeous, trust me. I like how the palm trees have the backdrop of all the buildings in the sky. Let's try to walk all the way to the water. It's gonna get a little bit windy, which I apologize for, but now, if you look all the way in the distance, that is the south of 5th neighborhood. I want to get you guys right to the water, just so you could hear the waves. But this is really what it's all about. The moonlight over the water. The reflection of the moon, I should say. Oops, let's go around this. So for those of you who don't know, it's almost August, which means the sea turtles will be nesting. So they rope off a lot of the sections of the beach because there's sea turtle eggs here. Hopefully you guys can hear the waves. It's good therapeutics after the crazy week we've had. Right, let's head back to Collins Avenue. One of my favorite things of all time is when you have these scattered clouds in the back, like those wispy clouds. It creates for like a very, very cool backdrop. And I think there's some heat lightning. All right, one more look at the moon, and then we'll head out. The moon is so bright tonight that it's almost like sunlight. It's pretty light out on the beach. Give you guys a little tip. If you're coming down to Miami for a visit, where we're standing now, it's true that it's beautiful, but during the day it gets really busy here and the beach is really crowded. But, well, I'll say this first. My favorite beach is 72nd Street Beach. That's North Beach, Miami. But if you're looking for the most private beach, go ahead and head to Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, and go all the way up by the Turnberry Ocean Club and residences. So that's the main strip that's technically considered the Billionaire's Row. You have the Bentley Building, you have the Turnberry Ocean Club, you have Porsche Design, and then soon to be the brand new St. Regis residences. There's never anyone at the beach outside of those towers. And you gotta understand, there's no private beaches in Miami. It's all public beach. So the Turnberry does a really good job. I'll take you guys up here just so you can kind of see. The Turnberry does a really good job at making sure they, I think it's called tilling the beach or scraping the beach. I forget the exact term, but it's essentially new sand every day and there's no one there. So if you're looking for a peaceful place to go to the beach, check out the oceanfront right outside the Turnberry. Oh, there's more of the heat lightning. But what do you guys think of this boardwalk? This will go all the way up towards Surfside, and you have this beautiful view of the ocean. And then these are all like the hotels and everything. D, you're right, raking the beach. 10-4. Wow, look at the pool here. Yep. All right, I think we should be out of the buffer zone now. Big party here. It's called High Beach. Let me know what you guys could see up over there. Oh, looks like there's a pool behind there. Like a hotel pool or something. Alright, so now we're back to Collins Avenue. Right back to 17th Street. So this is really one of the main drags, one of the main areas where they have a lot of the, like the motels, hotel, motel. Zozo Bob, what's up? So we'll go back and make a right on Lincoln Road. That's where I parked the scooter. Lincoln Road. Hey, everything in Miami, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. We are back in your neck of the woods. We'll be headed back to New York City on Sunday. This is, what's that, Alvin's place across the street? I think it's just like a gift shop. Nothing too spectacular.
গাড়ি
James Avenue. All right, everyone, I think we'll go ahead and call it a night. It is getting a little late, and I've got to be up early yet again. But just as a quick reminder, check your emails if you haven't already. I did send out the Behind the Street newsletter to everybody. We will be back here live, probably from Brickell tomorrow, and then Sunday we will be back in New York City. So thanks so much for joining. Subscribe if you're new, check out all of our research, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Try to have a good weekend, and hopefully we don't get any more breaking news. So Anna, Brad's Brain, appreciate it. UniJ23, New England Crypto, Shannon, Tatted T, Mark Summers, Zozo Bob, Sabrina Fair, Reed, Connor, TK Porsche, Hang with Mark Mom, DM. We'll see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Take care.